Oh. 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 Yeah, DGG chat bugging for me. Okay, well, whatever. I finally got to wear my cute little suit. Felt like I was going back to high school today. We were in a business mode. We spamming. Okay. This is not working. Hello? Did you record guns in the background? No, it's a live hearing. You have to go. Stand up full screen. I don't know if you can... Well, because my camera won't be in view. We're a real business cat now, you know. Just getting some business done, you know. Here to crush our opponents. Here to be a debate lord, you know. Suit's still on is crazy. I'm gonna be honest, I came home and I immediately went the fuck to sleep, so. I slept in this and just woke up. Oh. Is that the special suit the guy made for you? Yeah, I have 3 of these. Are they different colors? Yeah, of course. I thought that was cute. One of the clerks when I was in the bathroom, he looked at me and he was like, "Are you one of the new, what did he ask me? Are you one of the new junior attorneys?" I don't remember. But I was like, oh, I had my little suits moment. I was like, no, I'm just a professional debater, okay? One of the things that I said before was I always get like really scared for the upcoming court stuff because it kind of seems like things are really, really, really fucked. And every time there's like a hearing or a judge input, it's like somebody's about to get a very, very, very brutal reality check. I'm either way too off in my understanding of what's going on, or they're completely off in their understanding. And yeah, I would say the hearing this morning was very brutal. The plaintiff had to like take a 10-minute cry break at like halfway through her testimony. I think my feeling is they were getting very frustrated, but. Oh, zip. Oh my God. And I have another person who was there. Andrew looked at me and he was like, "I'm pretty sure that's a public person. That's either one of your fans or one of your haters for you in the back." Zip was in the courtroom today. Dude. Did you catch when Andrew told me to calm down? All of us were so happy because, oh my God. It's so funny. I had this exact same convo with, I don't want to reveal her identity. I'll just say LS. And one of the things we were kind of vibing with is that she said that she felt like really crazy over stuff related to her ex, and that going to family court was like one of the best things ever, because to hear a judge with all the evidence before them just obviously like saying like this is really fucked or this person is clearly or obviously in the wrong, she said was like a very gratifying feeling. And I related as well because of the judge input on the last hearing that they did. And can you go full screen? Oh, sure. And then this one was very much the same. Yeah, okay, so Zip 45 was there, so he can say if I'm making shit up. But to hear who is Andrew, my lawyer, to hear the judge asking like what I would consider to be the most obvious questions, and he was, oh God, I'm just so paranoid that like I'm gonna start, that just something's gonna happen. I'm just not like understanding. I'm getting like way too, I don't want to say overconfident or whatever, or that like I'm not understanding what's going on, but Oh, I have hot chocolate on my nose. I'm sorry. What did the judge tell you to calm down? No, the judge didn't tell me to calm down. Andrew told me to chill. I was just very, 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 very happy. I was so relieved because the judge started asking. The judge just had so many good lines of question. I'm like, yes, thank God. Like I would write a note to Andrew, and then the guy to the left of me would write a note, and he would go to pass it over, and I noticed it was basically the same note. And then before like either of us would pass it over to Andrew for his cross, like the judge would just like ask the question basically like, yes, thank God. Like, because there's a lot of... there's just a lot of public commentary about this where people that they obviously fucking hate me, but the hatred of me is like clouding their judgment over reasonable things. So like a few lines of questioning, and like in my mind, I'm like, this is so obvious, right? Like it's so obvious. And this is a line of thought that's been carried from Justicle's dipshit stream to Kiwi Farms, where it's like, oh, like if if Destiny sends this video to anybody else, he should know it's foreseeable. Obviously, it's obviously foreseeable that it's going to be published on the internet. And obviously, me and the other lawyer like writing notes, and like, wait, how could you even? And then the judge is like, well, hold on. And you're like, didn't Plaintiff do exactly that? And they were like, well, that's different because it involved. It's like, but she also did it with her boyfriend at the time as well, right? And they were like, yeah. And the judge shut down so many lines of questioning. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Oh, I don't feel like a fucking lunatic. It feels, oh my God, I felt so sane by the end of the questioning. Holy shit. Oh my God, and one of the most brutal lines of questioning, where Zip Zip, came from the judge. When the judge had to ask like 3 times, when Doe was on the scene, he was like, do you have any evidence at all that this happened within statute range? And then it was like, well, somebody messaged me whose sister said that they messaged me, but then they deleted their. It's like, okay, no. Is there any evidence past that? Any strong? And it's like, I don't know. My favorite was, oh my God, my favorite. This is mean. Is this mean? I don't know. When you're in court, you can do like, let me ask you a question, and then the person kind of yaps, and you're like, non-responsive. I'm gonna ask the question again. And this happened like 2 or 3 times. It was so funny. She didn't want to answer. They just had to keep saying Abby MC. Yeah. Oh my God, which looked so bad. But the when Andrew asked the same question like 3 times, and he was like non-responsive. Let me repeat the question. And then she finally like answers. She's like, yes, but then blah 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 blah. And he's like, thank you, Your Honor. Strike everything from the record after yes. And then he goes on to his next question. And I'm like, holy shit. Oh my God, it was so brutal. Oh God, fuck. It felt very good. I felt very sane by the end of it. The other lawyer was trying to just ask me the dumbest questions, but they were like so easy. I don't know if this guy thought he had like some crazy shit up his sleeve. He's like, didn't you, fuck, what was one of them? Zip Zip, do you remember? I don't know how much into the specifics I want to get, but... Oh, yeah, what a disgusting fuck. There's so many things I wish Andrew could have brought up, but we just didn't have the time. It was only a 2.5-hour hearing. Oh, yeah, they were like, is it true that you directed your fans to Kiwi Farms by posting about it publicly? But then later on, the judge asked, well, wait, didn't Plaintiff also post about it publicly? It's like, yes, thank you. Yes, they did. Yes. Oh, and then the judge himself, unprompted, brought up, he was like, because I think they were talking about damages or something, or not really, because we weren't out of the damage part, but he's like, doesn't Plaintiff posting a public Substack and everything about this, doesn't that kind of exacerbate the issue? I'm like, yes, it does. Thank you. Yes. Oh my God. Oh. Anyway, it was. Isn't there a court transcript from today that's public? So if you want, you can do a private hearing. You would have to request in advance, and I don't know if you do a motion one, you have to say, I would like this hearing to be private. I want to seal the hearing. I want to seal the transcript. They did not elect to do that, although now that the hearing is over, now they have announced that they're going to file a motion to try to seal the transcript, but it was in open federal court. Like there's a guy in my chat who was there this morning. Like, so I don't know why they think they can. I don't know why they think they can seal the transcript now when they literally held this in open court when people were there. But is there a court transcript? Not yet. I don't know how long it'll take for that to become available or ordered or whatever. But it's crazy how much the judge is repeating stuff you've been saying, Keck. Him laughing at Plaintiff's lawyer was cinema. Oh, true. Jesus. Did your public coverage of the case on stream come up at all? Not really. But I don't know if they had that line of questioning prepared, but the judge had already asked, like, have you been live tweeting about this case? have you been speaking about this publicly? Was the Substack public? So I don't know if they just didn't want to go that route or if they just didn't prepare a line of questioning there, but who is avoiding your subpoenas? So Abby MC was supposed to sue me as well. I got a demand letter from her saying she was going to sue me by the same lawyers that are representing Pixie, which is also a massive conflict of interest, by the way, but whatever. However, this was like a month and a half ago, and nothing came from it. And now that she's elected to be a star witness on this case, we tried to serve a subpoena to her via Pixie's attorneys, and they're saying, oh, we can't accept service on behalf of that person. So I don't know if she dropped that law firm, but she's staying on as a witness. We've tried to subpoena her at the addresses that the service processor has available. She's avoided she's avoided service at any address, so she's just hiding from any subpoena. So yeah, feels amazing, man. Real good. I'm curious what the other side's framing is. I'm sure they aren't saying we got crushed. What do you think they did well in? They honestly, it just wasn't anything. It was really brutal. Oh my God, even the lawyer. Oh, Zip, do you remember when the judge asked the lawyer, he was like, oh my God, dude, I almost started crying in the courtroom because this lawyer made me feel so fucking seen and sane. Do you remember when the judge asked, in any of the cases that you've cited, I think he asked, has there been a single time where the plaintiff wasn't the one, or the defendant wasn't the one, I think, was it to publish any of this online? Are any of the cases you've cited, is there any case law on that whatsoever? And the guy said, and he had to eventually say, no, there's nothing. Oh my God, it was so, Jesus. Is another hearing tomorrow? I don't think so. The judge was so quick with the case law has nothing to do with this, yeah. What's next? I mean, it could take this guy anywhere from 3 days to 3 weeks to publish his recommendation. Who knows? So what about the damages? Did y'all get to that? No. This is just a hearing on the preliminary injunction. But we're bringing up the subject matter jurisdiction a lot because the other side has no evidence. And they're wasting the court's time by having so much being pushed on this case when there is no subject matter jurisdiction. The court shouldn't probably be hearing this case because they have no evidence of the federal statute. There's no diversity jurisdiction between me and plaintiff. We both live in the same state, so. What are the range of possibilities for his ruling? I mean, the range is all the way from the judge decides, actually, I think I'm going to fully grant this preliminary injunction, which is unlikely, all the way to the recommendation that the case gets tossed, which is probably not as likely. This was just a hearing for the preliminary injunction, but obviously we're pushing really hard on the subject matter jurisdiction now anytime we can because there's no reason for the court doesn't have the authority to hear this case, right? Do they mention sanctions for their behavior? No, we didn't get into any of that or whatever. Are you going to go over the transcript once it's out? Yeah, maybe. Oof, I feel like... yeah, fuck it. I don't think it matters. Oh, do you remember when Brettler objected hearsay and plaintiff said... oh, yeah, when Doe said, that's not hearsay, and then the judge said, I'll decide what's hearsay. Oh, true. Man, I feel like if you're testifying, I feel like you should be like very snappy. Hopefully that came through, Zip. I don't know when you're like, I feel like my testimony was like very concise, very to the point. Yes, no, I don't recall. What I've heard, and then obviously what I've been told as well, is that speculating on the bench is is it on the bench? On the stand is a really bad idea. If somebody's like, what do you think, when did this happen? You're like, well, I'm not sure, but there was this date and then this happened and blah, blah. And yeah, there was a lot of yapping. Destiny, was it hearsay? It might have been, but this was it's a preliminary injunction hearing. I think he allowed a lot. The judge allowed a lot more than ordinary because it is just a PI hearing. It's not like we were in front of a jury or anything like that. So. Can you explain what a preliminary injunction is? What happens next if granted? A preliminary injunction allows the court to enjoin the behavior of somebody in a lawsuit prior to the actual litigation of the matters themselves. So before a jury hears anything, a preliminary injunction allows a judge to say, hey, we're going to enjoin or stop a person from engaging in this behavior because we feel like there's 4 elements to granting a PI. I don't remember them all. It's like you have to show on a balance of probabilities that you'll win. You have to show that in a balance of equities, it makes sense to grant it, which I think means it's more beneficial than not, I think. You have to show that it's not overly burdensome, I think, to the person that the PI is granted towards. And you have to, and there's one other element, I don't remember, but the PI, again, that they're granting is, God, I'm so happy that the judge fucking honed in on this. Because the plaintiff is like disgustingly trying to, they so badly want to rope me into Kiwi Farms. They're desperate. They're desperate to do it. But again, and I think Andrew brought that up, right, to the judge. When, sorry, I just read that thing. Fuck, my mind just wiped. I'm so tired. I didn't sleep much last night, and then I slept for like 4 hours afterwards. Oh, they want to desperately rope me into the Kiwi Farms stuff, and I think Andrew finally asked, or I think Andrew might have stated in our closing arguments, like, they should have sued Kiwi Farms. Like, why is Kiwi Farms not listed as a defendant on this case? Destiny, if granted, what behavior would the PI enjoin anyways? Basically nothing, which is the whole point, which I think was one of our arguments, right? Like, even Plaintiff doesn't accuse me of continuing to share any videos of them, except for one weird hearsay thing related to the Abbey. But even that was 2 years ago, even if her statement is true. And so otherwise, there's like no behavior to enjoin. And it doesn't even make sense. Like, why? Like, yeah, the plaintiff isn't even really accusing me of like continually doing this. So. Oh yeah, they tried that. But I think the judge asked for more clarification afterwards, right? Because I think the judge said, do you have any other evidence besides this Abby person who didn't show up? They had no witnesses today, which they don't technically need, but I feel like a subject matter jurisdiction question is very scary because you can get their whole case will be tossed if they don't have that. And they have no likelihood of success on the underlying state claims. The state claims are unhinged. They're like cyber sexual harassment, and they require malicious intent. And they might even require, I think, publishing of the media. And despite what Kiwi Farms or Gistigal or other retards say, if you actually read case law, publishing, it's not a cute thing where you're like, oh, well, technically, if you link a video on here, the link can be made public. No, publishing requires you to post it on a public website. It's pretty unambiguous. If you actually read cases, you see this. So yeah, there were times where they tried to get cute with that. Like he tried to say like, isn't it true? Or did you have like a Google Drive link or whatever? And it's like, what? No, or this is like not as you're phrasing it. Yeah, it's so funny to see them try to roll through. This guy is questioning me. He's trying to roll through like Kiwi Farms theories. And it's like, bro, really? Did the judge say anything about the whole Kiwi Farms will take down the video, but only with a court order thing? No, we didn't talk about that too much, but that on its face is like really stupid. It doesn't make any sense. A court order is an inappropriate mechanism to have a video removed and not reposted. The court order will only tell them to take down a specific link. Somebody could repost it. And also, for however much Joshua, I don't know what dipshit legal counsel he has, if you're willing to tell somebody, if somebody makes you aware, hey, there's revenge porn on your website, and you're like, oh yeah, no problem, I can take it down. I just need a court order. No, you don't. It's your website. You don't need a court order. If you want to take anything down, you can just take it down. And Andrew kept getting confused by that too, because it's like, it doesn't make any sense for somebody to be like, oh yeah, like, I can do this. I just need to go ahead and send me a court order for it. Why? If you're cooperating with plaintiff or with attorneys messaging you, why does it matter? Oh my God, Zip. And what was the lawyer was trying to trap me, where he was like, did you make efforts or whatever to get it removed from Kiwi Farms? And I was like, yes. And then and then later on he asked me, and he's like, your law firm hadn't actually filed a case yet, correct? And I was like, yes. And he was like, your law firm, then you actually didn't send your attorneys. Oh, here's Noel's public statement saying that the attorneys didn't actually contact him. Isn't that correct? And I was like, yes. And he's like, so then, or whatever. And he's like, aren't you contradicting yourself? Is that not a contradiction? And I was like, no, I can have somebody contact them who aren't my attorneys. And thank you, Noel, you fucking retard, because Noel publicly posted on his website that he got an email from my fucking manager at the time. Thank you, Noel. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate it. How shitty were the lawyers in person? Everybody was pretty professional. Although the Joan person wasn't there. Interesting. Why did Doe cry? Did Doe cry during Andrew's questioning or during direct examination? I don't remember. I think she was just getting frustrated because during her own lawyer. Oh, Jesus. Damn. During direct exam. So your own lawyer questioning you. Oof. Okay. Who is Joanne? That's Joan Peters it's Lauren Hayden's AKA, I guess. I don't know. It's the one, I think, who's been doing most of the writing and the filings. How fucking cinema would it be if that lawyer actually was fucking Lauren under some like name change? Holy shit. Destiny, it was when she was asked about suicidality and she got a little emotional and her lawyer immediately said, do you want to take a break? Do you want water? Trying so hard to milk it. I don't think plaintiff was, but the lawyer definitely was. Oh, maybe. I thought this was a slam dunk for Doe LeMayo. Yeah, but again, the issue is that people wanted to jump from the internet, I think, to like real life, big boy stuff. And it's not like a shit posting forum. Like you actually have to provide evidence for your claims. There are actual rules on how you do things. It's not like whoever can create as many unhinged accounts and spam posts on Reddit as much as possible automatically wins the argument, you know? Is the court thing being streamed anywhere? No. Federal courts, to my understanding, do not allow cameras or recording devices, so... Oh, yeah, wait, what was the, And the way she tried to sneak in that the leaker said Rose was 17. Oh, yeah, I added that. I try not to ramble if I'm on the stand. I want to be, like, very clear and concise with my answers, but it did feel good, because I think opposing lawyer on cross was, like, asking me, like... Did he ask me, was he like, is it true that, you didn't know this person very long or whatever, and you were sharing explicit videos or something? And I was like, yes, just like with plaintiff. I think I had that one loaded a few times. Like, correct, just like with plaintiff. Correct, just as with plaintiff. Correct, yes. Oh, probably one of the worst. Oh my God, dude, there was bro, some of the what's in the record now in terms of stuff that I can draw from, one of the most brutal lines of questioning. Zip, do you remember when, so they tried to do this, so again, they're trying to use this Kiwi Farms theory because honest to God, I think she just copies stuff from KF and then she throws it to her lawyer. She's like, let's use this. They're trying to run with this weird theory of like the Google Drive. Like he had like an open Google Drive and he's just linking everybody to this whole repository of stuff. And it's like, no, this didn't happen. And at one point the judge stopped and I think the judge asked her like, oh, like, because I think they were trying to say that she had no idea that, was it about like a Google Drive link or something? And he asked her, he was like, so, did you ever share videos with Plaintiff or Plaintiff ever bring this up? And then she was like, yeah. And he was like, and did you, he was like, did you, how did he send videos to you or whatever? And she was like, well, a Google Drive link. And he was like, and you didn't think that he would continue to use like a Google Drive link for transmitting material or whatever? I was like, yeah, that's how we shared stuff. Yes. Oh my God. That was a brutal, because they tried to run with this because she gave like 10 minutes of yap testimony about how like, I think that these were like open links or something, or there was like an open Google Drive and it's like, no, that's not how any of this works. And I had no idea that this would happen or whatever. And then he was like, oh, well, like, how did you guys do so? She's like, well, through Google Drive links. And it was like, oh my God. Oh yeah. What did she was saying something along the lines of like, because again, it's funny because if you go through my logs, I brought this up months ago. There are these concepts called proximate harm and foreseeability. And truly, foreseeability, I think, is not very well understood in Kiwi Farms, again, is like laying really heavily into this. But the problem is the foreseeability argument is self-defeating. They want to say that if you transmit a video to somebody, because they really want to rope me into the Kiwi Farms posting, that's their goal, is to try to make me responsible for any damages that might have occurred as a result of the Kiwi Farms posting. So what they're trying to say is like, well, if you send a video to anybody, it's obvious it's going to be leaked. And it's like, well, hold on. Didn't you do that exact thing? And then I think the judge asked her, he was like, well, did you guys ever like share videos with anybody else? And she was like, yeah, but I didn't think any other videos would ever be shared like of me or whatever. And then he was like, did he share videos with anybody else with you? And she was like, well, yeah, with his wife at the time. And he was like, and didn't that give you pause? I was like, yes. Thank God. Yes. Why is Gisticle involved in this shit at all? My theory. Oh my God. Yeah, when the judge brought up, because the judge was like, so it's, I don't want to misquote. I mean, the transcript probably would come out, so it's not like I'm intentionally lying, but the judge basically brought up, he was like, so it seems like there was like an implied consent situation going on. And I was like, oh no. Oh God, yes. So can the case end here? Do your lawyers think it will? I mean, it could, but who knows? We don't know. The judge, I mean, and again, the judge still has to rule. I mean, theoretically, the judge could just say, actually, I'm going to fully grant the PI. You don't really know 100%, right? I think attorneys are always like cautious for like, anything can happen, so. Why is Gisticle involved in this? So if you watch the Supreme Court case about TikTok and ByteDance, there's a very interesting argument that was brought up that I actually agreed with for why TikTok probably shouldn't be able to operate in the United States while it does. And I think the interesting argument is it's not very fair that TikTok gets to enjoy First Amendment privileges, but ByteDance is beyond criminal reach. So you end up in this world where TikTok can do whatever they want and they have full First Amendment rights to do it. But if they're doing something illegal or bad with their data, all of that is being done on the ByteDance side. So they get to do this two-step where they can present a First Amendment protected public-facing U.S. entity and then hide behind a criminally immune international entity. And I feel like in some ways, this is kind of how they're trying, the plaintiff is trying to do this case where she's trying to publicly not say much about it, but she's coordinating with a ton of people in the background who aren't a part of the case who can say a lot about it. I think that's probably, my guess is, I can't know this, my guess is that's probably why Juice Stalker didn't want to formally join the case, is because then he would probably be a lot more limited about how much bullshit he can lie about and make up on his stream. And also, oh my God, thank you. It didn't come up at the hearing today, but one of the strongest arguments I have, oh my God, I'm sorry. One of the strongest arguments I have against all of these witnesses saying, I'm terrified of Destiny, I'm so scared, I think he's gonna dox me, come after me. I'm so sorry, Stacia and all you other fucking retards. You guys talk about this shit every single fucking day in Justicle's Discord server. I have hundreds of pages of you talking about it constantly. You can't talk about something in a public-facing area for weeks and months at a time, and then when it comes time for you to testify, come out and be like, well, actually, I'm too scared because I'm worried that he's going to come down really harshly on me. It doesn't work that way. You're either scared or you're not. You can't have it both ways. Oh, true. Hey, what's up? What do you want?
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I mean, I think it was a good morning.
Yeah, pretty much. I was very cinema, truly. I have my notes.
Notes? Oh, I had so many notes because I was passing it, but I threw my notepad away. Damn, Andrew's question, it was very brutal.
It was really good. I was impressed.
Shit.
Yeah,
I didn't know he did like trial lawyer stuff too. Damn.
Yeah, he went in. I was kind of surprised, but also, I mean, that's what you got to do. So.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like their counsel, I don't know what he was trying to establish half the time. It felt like his questions were like a little bit aimless. Like, I don't know what he was ever trying to get me on.
There's so many points on that. Like, yeah, where he was going on. There was one where he was going in on like, it was so funny. He asked like, you post videos on YouTube, right? Or you stream? And you're like, yeah. And then he goes, and you make money off this. This is your primary source of revenue? You're like, yeah. So, and you post videos about you talking about this case, correct? And you're like, yeah. And then you're like, yeah, but on the whole, I've lost way more money than
yeah, because he tried to get me on
this. Like,
yeah, Plaintiff has a Substack, and yeah, he's like, don't you make money posting videos? Like, yeah, but I've lost way more money than I've gained talking about this and being fucking sued.
And then they didn't want to talk about.
And then he killed his line of questioning right there, and he started shuffling his notes. You know that he had more after. My favorite thing was after I gave an answer that I don't think he was necessarily expecting, and he starts shuffling his papers, and I'm like, this motherfucker was trying to go deeper into this.
He was going so back and forth. He wasn't like really following like a specific thing. He was just kind of like throwing all the random questions that they had on you. I felt.
Do you have anything else in your notes that I missed from today?
Oh, I'm looking now. I haven't looked at them since this morning. Plaintiff kept running with like I was really sexually inexperienced.
She tried that, but the logs and Andrew's lines of questioning were brutal. Jesus.
One of the things, it was kind of weird, but I mean, I guess that's what you got to do. But like every time your lawyer like asks like, did you say this on this day? And he'll like read, and she goes, I assume so. If you have it in front of you. She
kept saying like, I don't know because I deleted the message. You know that your side still exists on that. Like you it's not like I can delete your messages, so I don't know why you would say that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then oh man, my handwriting's not that good. I'm trying to just read what I wrote.
Wait, I'm gonna grab a Red Bull 1 sec. Hold on.
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like there were 4 times where Andrew had to keep asking questions to get a response from Plaintiff, and then after they finally responded and kept yapping, Andrew was like, Thank you for answering. Strike everything from the record after yes. Strike everything from the
Yeah, I
record
think
after
so.
no.
There was a couple like the
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna run down, but it was good. Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh jeez, let me see my nose. I should have highlighted stuff earlier. Oh, like the judge asking, like, did you have an online profile? Like, what was that? Then she mentioned actually like being in this a streamer in the space after a lot of her testimony.
Oh, for
Oh my God. Oh, this one. Hold on. When the plaintiff's lawyer asked her, um, if you sent people to Kiwi Farms, and then your lawyer objected like speculation. She just said yes, like he knows Kiwi Farms has a thread. He's still sending stuff, even though he knows that Kiwi Farm has a thread that's like obsessed with him. But he's
Oh.
still sending stuff to people. Like, yeah.
yeah, that all of that was so weakly supported. Yeah. They really desperately wanted to go with the like he's directing people towards Kiwi Farms, and it's like
Yeah,
you understand the
but by
plaintiff
the end
is-
of it, they kind of dropped it because the judge was. They had to like. Eventually, it was explained to the judge what everything was that they were talking about. Like maybe they were like trying to slip it by without having to explain what Kiwi Farms is or like everything. But
Yeah. Oh, but then plaintiff herself ended up explaining a lot that like, yeah, there are a group of people that super hate him and post shit about him all the time because they were trying to make
yeah,
that.
I was surprised she said that.
Yeah, she said so much stuff that I feel like she didn't need to or shouldn't have said at all. Oh my God, there's a lot of stuff that I can. Yeah, Jesus, but.
Yeah, about the lawyer kept asking about like the Google Drive, and then Fix is like, oh well, Abby MC said she received the video from Google Drive, and he has sent links and everything. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, but with no.
And then the judge asks, but you got stuff from Drive too? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Who's on the call with Destiny? I don't know. Some guy who lives. How far away do you even live? Like 40 minutes?
No, like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What did you say? You were just like,
Not to dox
here's my
myself,
ID.
but-
Can I just like go into the courthouse? You're just allowed to walk in, I guess.
Yeah, it's all public.
Oh, did you hear they're
I'm like
trying to? Apparently, they're trying to seal the transcript now.
That was, yeah, I just heard it. That's I don't
After
even
the
know
open
why.
hearing, what the fuck? Why would you not
Like,
do this
yeah.
beforehand? It was so stupid. Why you can't do that? They're doing so much stupid shit.
Yeah. And it's funny that they're doing that when, I mean, maybe they probably don't know. I already like talked about everything on Darius' stream earlier, so I mean, I guess that's that. But, yeah.
You still feel bad for her. Like, I guess she has to be responsible for her actions, but I also think she's getting hardcore. No, she's an adult. This is on, like, this person is literally trying to, like, attack me more than any other person in the history of all of everything. And she should know better, right? There's a person who's like, oh, I want to go to law school and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, this is stupid.
Oh, I have in my notes, Pixie was asked, did he try to remove the videos? And she said yes. That was like before everything, so like that probably
Yeah,
will screw them later.
they contradicted
Yes,
because when she kept yapping,
has he doxed you? And she said yes. So that was something.
Oh, because I said the name or whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
but they forgot. And I actually just learned this recently. Thank you, Chatter, by the way. Oh my God, it was so awkward. I didn't know this, but there. I'm not gonna say specifically, but there was a way that she. Or no, they put this in all their court filings. This is all public testimony, and all this testimony will be public. When they opened their Give, Send, Go, her name was attached to it for like a week. And listening to them try to talk around that, where she was like, well, I didn't know that would happen, and I didn't know that my whole day would be shown, and, you know, and we had to message them, and it was like, ooh, that was when the judge was just asking her a question, that was brutal too, Jesus.
And the judge kept trying to clarify. He like really trying to clarify. Okay, but couldn't you have done this, or couldn't you have done this?
Yeah.
Your name was on there, right? And like,
Jeez, yeah.
I think Pixie was asked, did you ever object to him sharing? She said no. Presumably
yeah,
because
some
she
of the
was never getting
statements that
opportunity,
she-
but I feel like that's another one that's gonna bite her in the ass later.
Yeah, because some of the statements she was making Yeah, I don't want to.
Oh,
I try to stay. I don't want to get too central on that issue
Yeah, yeah.
because obviously the whole case is
It's the
about
main
that.
thing,
But
but
she said a lot of stuff that cut against her. I think really hardcore when it comes to the Cardi claim, which might not even actually stand up to anything at all anyway because they have no evidence of it at all anyway. So yeah, Jesus.
yeah. Um, I got to the point in my notes. There was one where, oh man, I just read it. Where was it? Where was it?
Just to get an idea of how well it's going, can you specify what part you think may have hurt your case the most? I mean, I don't want to sound like overconfident. I mean, Zip, I guess can answer, but like, I feel like I'm pretty on the right side of all of this. I don't think like I'm kind of laughing or bragging, I guess, about not bragging, but like I feel like things went well. But like I feel like it's an incredibly challenging case from their perspective. They have a really, really, really hard case. They filed probably in an inappropriate court, and they're filing on a claim that they had no proof for. And the dream, like imagine jumping out of a plane with your parachute, but it's not on yet, and you're trying to put the parachute on as you jump out of the plane, and then you pull the ripcord and you find out actually it was just a hiking backpack. Like it feels like that's what their case is. And meanwhile, I just have to not say anything really stupid or fuck up or whatever, even though they keep trying to lay traps for me. Or I don't know. What do you think there was anything that was particularly bad? Or do you think it
I
was the
don't
worst
think
moment for
so.
me? I guess.
There was one question from you where you answered, and I was surprised you answered yes, just like without clarification or anything. I don't remember what it was. I'll probably find it in my notes. One thing that I did think was a little funny was during Brugler's cross on Plaintiff. Um, I think your lawyer was like looking at like the logs and like asking her about them.
Oh yeah.
And he said like, "Oh, and this is your message where you suggest recording videos." And she was like, "Well, yes." And the judge
Oh
was
my
like, "Wait,
God.
but I thought you said that he suggested recording videos." It was so funny.
No. Oh, you're not even getting the best part of it. When he was like, I thought you said that he suggested recording the videos,
Yeah.
not you. Do you remember how she tried to explain that?
Oh, because she kept saying like, "Oh, because he had sent me a video, and then I thought that was because he wanted to." So like, imagine I don't remember the metaphor.
Yes,
It was like
she
imagine if
meant
you were
before.
talking
She
about
was like, let me
water,
try to explain.
and
Let me try
somebody's
to
like,
explain with an
"Please tell me
analogy.
how
Wait.
good this water is," and then I ask, "Can I have some water?" Like, did I it's not really making sense, but like,
Yeah. She tried to walk through an analogy, and she's like, imagine somebody has really good water, and you start drinking all the water, and they're like, wow, this is really good water, and then somebody else is next to them, and you're like, well, can I have some water? Well, you would say that the other person suggested the water to them, even though they didn't really. And then I think she was like, okay, wait, this analogy doesn't work or something. And I was like, oh my God, why are you doing this? Oh no! But
I
then
don't
right
know
after I
why
think she said
she
that, then
wanted
Andrew
to
just started
add
reading her statement. She's like, "You did say this, right? And you did say this, right?" And my responses in the DMs were always like, "Oh yeah, if you want to, then yeah, sure, whatever." So it
if
was
you
like,
want,
yeah,
yeah.
Jesus. Anyone from the public can go to these court hearings. Yes, these are open hearings in open federal court. Could we watch this somewhere? No, federal court is generally not recorded in any way, but there might be a transcript made available soon, hopefully. But
Reading my notes. Oh, when it was at the point during the cross, like after, like it felt like to me like the way like it started with like her lawyer asking her questions, and they were like just kind of establishing stuff, whatever. It was on the cross where Bredler asks Pixie about the Substack, and then the judge goes, "What is this? What is a Substack? What are we talking about here?" And then that's when everything is explained about her posting a Substack a month before filing the case, talking about everything. Yeah.
and then that's when the judge asks, like, well, wouldn't this make all of this like even more public? Oh, and her
Yeah.
disgusting. There are a few things they're doing, and I mean, like, hey, the game is the game. I get it, right? You're just trying to win your case. That's fine. Them trying to do the what was it? Oh, trying to say that the videos were so popular that Noel tweeted out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I was like, motherfucker, those were my videos. But I think Andrew brought
From
that
all
up.
the way back, that's like back from like the initial complaint and like the immediate reply from your lawyers. Like that was the immediate like that wasn't about the video. And I think Brother argued against that as well today. But where they were saying like, oh, and I think Pixie said this when she was being questioned. She said like, oh, and the creator of the site posted that the website crashed because of the Destiny BJ video. And then Redler's like, okay, but to be clear, this was a different video unrelated to Plaintiff.
Yeah.
And like so many of the videos that they're like bringing up is like your lawyer then had to be like, these videos are unrelated to Plaintiff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because they just want to bring up like random shit all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Pixie's still saying that the Substack was because, or I think the judge was asking like, this was before the lawsuit, wasn't it gonna like publicize everything more? She's like, yeah, but the leaks were already public, and my best friend betrayed me and sent stuff to this other person who made a video about it, defamatory video.
No. Yeah, bro, she was yapping so much on the stand. I was like, oh my god, we need to be way more concise with the answers. It was just like a live stream. She was up there. It wouldn't surprise me if she said like 3 times as much as I did. Or maybe 4 times. She was going off on so many random points. Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did the judge say anything about the late motions made by plaintiff, like the TRO? I don't know if the judge brought that up or not, or if my lawyer did. Yeah. But their arguments were pretty weak, I think, on all of it. Yeah. That case law line of questioning where the judge was like, has this ever been, like, is there any case law supporting what you guys are saying? And they're like, well, and it's like, well, is there any case law? I was like, no. I feel like that was really brutal, because that was to the attorney too.
And then the whole, it was such a weird back and forth. Like, well, I think Pixie was asked about the date of the initial sharing of the video with Rose, and she's like, oh, well, I'm pretty sure it was October. That's what I thought. And like, it was just like an immediate objection, like hearsay. What do you lack of foundation or whatever? Because well, how would you know? Like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh, the judge asked her whatever, right? I think didn't the judge say like, well, how would she even? How would you even
I think
know?
at the very, very end, the judge was even like, okay, but you have no evidence that this was in October, right? Because they're saying that it is April.
And then her response is like,
evidence.
well, I saw like the public statements other people have made about it or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
it looked
why would
that
you say
way.
what?
And then your lawyer had to be like, even the leakers said that it was European time.
Yeah, they're trying to act like there's a genuine dispute about those logs when there's not. The timestamp is listed at the bottom. I was given an opportunity to explain how I backed up all of my messages, and then I was able to demonstrate knowledge of messages like throughout everything, and that I had backed up everything. So yeah, all the spoliation arguments. I feel like they wanted to ask more about the spoliation stuff, but I think after I gave an answer for how I was archiving and backing stuff up, I feel like I saw the paper shuffle and then he dropped it. So.
Yeah. Looking, reading my notes. Oh, there was a little back and forth, maybe between you and the judge, where the judge was asking about the IBMC, and you were like, I don't think I sent it. He was like, okay, but did you? You're like, no, because, and then you had the specific answers, like you went back and checked your logs with all these people to see, and you went to search the link and any discussion of the name, and like trying to find if you had sent this to anybody else, and you said no. So, and then you even said like IBMC brings up 2 videos with 2 people, one of which there is no video of.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you know.
Yeah. And then they dropped that line of questioning too.
Yep. And they dropped it, which I was surprised, but I mean, it makes sense. They don't have.
Yeah.
not
I felt
necessarily
so good to watch
exactly.
that. I felt like the attorney was getting flustered, and then when they stopped it, I always said this before, that like all of my debates on stream, the ones I usually get the most nervous for are the ones that I feel like are slam dunks, because I'm like, I think I'm missing something. And I had that feeling coming into this today where I'm like, fuck, I wonder if, like when he started pulling out pages I was like, oh God, is there about to be some like top, like some.
Oh, he kept showing, so I couldn't see them all, but like it wasn't even anything.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
when he
Oh my
put
God. And he
solo
brought up
or
so
like
much stuff that I had the opportunity to explain too. Cause they're like, yeah. And again, more
Noel's
logistical.
message on the thing, and like
Oh yeah, yeah, Noel, thank you, Noel, for making public that you were indeed contacted, you fucking piece of shit, by me letting you know that there is revenge porn on your site. Thank you for publishing publicly that picture, so we don't have to subpoena you or anything. You've already made available to me exactly what I needed. Thank you so much. The screenshots. They try to warp or twist these screenshots like so much, where they were like, didn't you hear say that nobody knew, or that you had told Plaintiff that, like, you know, nobody had known that you guys had had sex or whatever, blah blah. And then it's like, yeah, but this is not the same thing as saying, you know, like, whether or not any material has been shared. If the person has no idea who you are, like, the answer would be the same. Like, the context for this conversation was, I think Plaintiff was fighting with Lav or somebody else at the time publicly, and none of those people had known that we hooked up, which is obvious because at the time nobody said anything about it, right? Yeah, which is, yeah. But they're trying to. Oh yeah, and them leaning so heavily. I don't want to be like a fucking like a pro rape red pill or whatever, but the ultra over reliance on the word consent for like fucking everything, like consent. Like Plaintiff used that a lot in her testimony. We talked about so much about consent, and then I think their attorney asked me that point blank. He's like, didn't you guys talk about consent or whatever? And I think I responded to that, right? Where I was like, yeah, but this is about like rape, not about like having anything to do with because then Plaintiff was asked point blank, did you ever tell this person, I think, right, like, don't send this to anybody else or anything like that? And then she answered in the negative. She was like, no, I don't think I ever said that or whatever, right?
yeah, that happened. Trying to see. I'm looking at my notes. I got to when your cross-examination started. I think the first thing that their lawyers asked was, you objected to this court order to remove the stuff from Kiwi Farms, correct? Yes. And you had been trying to remove, and you say that you want these videos to be removed. Yes. And isn't that a little inconsistent? You said no. just fully like.
Oh, dude, you're trying to trap me so much, but his questions were so dumb. Well, yeah, what do you think? I'm an idiot? You don't think I see where I'm going here? It's like when people are debating you and they ask you what they think is a slam dunk question, and you're like, oh God, I'm supposed to like struggle. But obviously, I know like what you're asking. Like, I'm not a fucking. Well, I guess a lot of people are dumb. But yeah, that was he thought he could trap me there. It's like, well, you said that you hadn't sued anybody yet. And it's like, yeah, but you can ask for videos to be removed without it being from an attorney. You know that, right? And then he shuffled his papers and then killed that line of questioning or whatever. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And they kept trying to harp on, but he's objecting to the court order to remove stuff from Kiwi Farms, and then your lawyer's like, oh no, we're objecting because
you want us to pay for it.
They wanted to pay, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, they kept trying to ask like, oh, you said that there's no secrets in the streaming world, right?
Oh
like,
yeah, what a weird quote. What does that even mean? They brought that up
random,
twice.
and that was from unrelated anything. That was just a random quote they found.
Yeah, I think he asked me. He was like, is it true that you said publicly before that there are no secrets in the streaming world? I don't even know what my answer was to that. I was like, I guess. I could have said that.
I think you said yes, but it's like...
I might have said, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like, I'm sure I said that.
Tens of thousands of hours of content. I'm sure I've said that at some point. How is that related to anything?
I think you said I've made lots of statements in lots of different places.
Yeah. Jesus. Oh my God! When
what they asked her lawyers asked have other people claimed that you were sharing things non-consensually, and you said yeah, and then they go, how many was it? And you're like, I don't know. He's like, was it more than 5, less than 5? And
no, like, initially he asked me, he was like, wasn't it like 20? Oh my God.
Oh, 15.
No. Because I said that there were 27 videos of me. I think I said posted on Kiwi Farms. Yeah, and he was like, did the 27 people in those videos, did all of them consent to me? It's like, and then my response is like, most of those videos were solo videos of me. I think there were like 5 other or less people that were actually involved. The vast majority of the videos posted were just solo videos of me.
Yeah, and I think the judge asked for clarification on that one, and you were like specific, like, I think of these videos, a lot of them are just of me, and of these videos, I think there was only like 5 different people in total, and and for some reason they were trying to say like 24, I think is what the number was, and there were like 24 different people have like claimed that you non-consensually. Like, what?
Yeah. Oh, when Plaintiff like openly said like, yeah, the reason why I said I'd have to sue him is to punish him, to show him how wrong he is, or whatever, to protect.
So he never does it again.
We didn't get to go down that I didn't get to go down that line of questioning, but it was like, if your goal was to punish me so I would never do this to a person again, and that's why you had to make it publicly known. Oh, and she admitted, although we didn't get down that line of questioning, but she admitted that like my plan was to make a note that was going to go live after I kill myself,
Just
detailing everything you've done.
yeah.
It was like, gee, why would you say all Jesus? Yeah. Jesus.
Oh, when plaintiff's lawyer asked about you, you posted her name online, and then you like immediately had obviously the answer. I said her first name, and it was removed when it was asked. This was before the protective order. When I was notified about a protective order, and then you know. But for some reason, they still want to ask, even though they know all that.
Well, the goal is to get stuff on the record that makes me look bad to help the judge, but
Yep.
I don't know if they're just not familiar with it or if they think I'm going to give a dumb answer, but yeah.
Yeah. Reading. Oh, and then after the cross-examination, because the first time your lawyer was questioning you, he asked like if he can save some of his time for a redirect, and then he came back and the questions he asked was, have you sent this video since the lawsuit? No. Will you? No. Like, yeah. She says she's been harmed a lot by this video and being publicized. Have you been harmed by this? Yes. Of course.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah. Also, why are you trying to enjoin me from behavior that's like expressly illegal?
Not happening.
Like,
yeah,
and it's illegal. Like, well, I need an injunction to stop this guy from like committing crimes that we have no evidence of him like continually committing. Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why would you? Why? Like, yeah, it's already illegal. You don't need an injunction for a thing that's already illegal. That's just not. You're just not allowed to do that. You could just sue me for it over and over again. And then it's obvious,
Oh
like
my
looking
God.
at like the whole process. Like, what? You think I'm about to start running around and posting this video? It seems like it's probably hurting me more than helping me. Like, why would you even ask this question? It's so stupid. Yeah. Yeah.
I just got to this part of my notes. This is so funny. So after you were sent off the stand, then the judge starts asking Pixie's lawyer, what relief are you asking for here? And he says, well, we're looking for a temporary restraining order or a preliminary injunction. I don't know why he brought up a temporary restraining order. That shit was already denied, but okay. He's like talking about cardio.
Oh, and he kept saying saying permanent injunction instead of preliminary injunction, but that's all good. You know, it misspeak. It's all good.
That's it happens. He kept saying like, oh, because you're streaming, talking about the case, and you're directing people to Kiwi Farms. You're opposing the motion to take down, so that's why we need one. And then the judge asks, okay, what kind of an injunction do you want? And then her lawyer goes, I think we made it pretty clear in our motion. The judge says, no, you didn't.
Oh yeah, oh we all laughed at the table because the judge was like, no, yeah, this was not clear at all. I have no idea what the fuck you're asking for. Oh yeah, that was so funny. Why would you respond that way? I think we made it pretty clear in our motion what we want to judge. Like, answer him. You're at a hearing right now to talk about your motions. Why would you even? Oh shit, true. That was a good one.
Yeah. I think the question was asked about the subject matter jurisdiction, and her lawyer said, well, my client says that it was in October, and then judge, she wouldn't know, though, right? She wouldn't, so I don't know what we're talking about, what she thinks.
Oh, yeah, we kind of went over that already, yeah.
And then the judge asked, when did you find out about this Abby MC person?
Oh.
And then her lawyer had to admit it was after the suit was filed.
Yeah, which I'm not even sure, again, I don't even know. Even if her witness statements were real, which I don't think they are, but even if they were, I'm not even sure. I don't know if they would be allowed to even be added to this because I don't know if they would have to amend the complaint for that or not. But yeah.
Yeah, unclear. I think the judge then said that, like, you know, since this was after the claim was filed, I think this would affect the suit, depending on whatever. And then the judge says, so there's an issue here, and you're asking for a preliminary injunction here. But of course, this is months after this claim was filed. You know, from this.
Oh yeah, because
you're talking about activity that
has
been happening since the start of the suit. So
yeah, Andrew brought up the defendant is saying that is that they were suicidal, and this leak happened in November, and it's now May, June, and now they're trying to get an injunction. Like, what's happening here? You just were okay being suicidal for 7 months? Like, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I have what your lawyer said at the end here, that the TRO was already denied. It's because it was stale, because of how long it's been. That the plaintiff has presented no evidence that of any actual breaking of the federal statute, except for an affidavit with no evidence. Where is this witness? She's not here, so where is this person? That even if even if the federal statute wasn't like broken, since that for the state charges that they're trying to bring, they would require different things like malicious intent and all this, like all the same stuff that you've been saying on stream.
Yeah. Oh my God. And the judge was, and the attorney, again, I guess they have to win their case, but he's trying to make the most ridiculous arguments for malicious intent. Where I was saying this is one of the self-defeating ones. He's digging a hole here because he's saying that you sending like any video at all is basically, that's on its own establishes malicious intent. And it's like, why would you even write malicious intent into the statute then, if just doing this is malicious intent? And obviously there's no evidence anywhere. The plaintiff hasn't even presented evidence, and I'm trying to like humiliate.
And they kept going like, oh well, just sending is malice, but then the judge is like, okay, but she sent it to plaintiff, right? Or she sent stuff of her boyfriend to plaintiff, so it wouldn't really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have here that the judge asked, was Abby in the initial complaint? Her lawyer had to say no. And the judge also said, I don't remember what the back and forth was, but the judge asked or said, well, I'm not sure what to do with usually like the federal statute because and with the state charges for malice because he didn't publish the videos publicly. It would be different if he had like say posted to a Substack, but he was just through text.
Yeah, he used a
Substack. I thought he was doing it on purpose, but he said that as like, oh my God.
Oh, the shit post. I don't know if I don't know if he intentionally did it. Yeah, the judge was like,
I didn't even know, but oh my God.
Yeah, because remember again, like Kiwi Farms and Gisticle and all these retards who don't read actual case. If you want to know how a statute actually plays out, the easiest and best way to do it is you just read a case on it, because the commentary on it will give you a lot more. It'll flesh out the understanding of the actual statute and how it's applied in actual cases. And yeah, people are trying to make this really weird argument of like, well, actually, publishing something can mean sending it to just one person. Since it's on the internet, technically it's on the internet forever, and somebody could theoretically...
Saying, oh, but he had it on Google Drive, so that's why it's publishing.
Yeah, and it's like, no, this is not what publishing means. And then, and then the judge, when he was responding, was like, well, I don't think this, it sounds like, oh yeah, because the judge said, well, no, it sounds like this was a text message. It's not like he posted a Substack about it. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, Jesus.
That's so good.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, putting it out there risks that it gets out. Then she did that then the plaintiff did that too because of her boyfriend. And then on that one, I think at least that was like one of the times that like her lawyers actually had like a good response to an argument. The judge said then she did that too because she sent stuff of her boyfriend to you. And then her lawyer said, well, the difference is that she had consent from her boyfriend to do this. And the judge said, okay, but if that's the case, then that means that this wouldn't be malice. This would maybe be like negligence, but it wouldn't be malicious, and which would have different effects on damages and certain things. Yeah. And I think...
Yeah, because the underlying Florida statute that they cited requires malice, not just negligence. Yeah.
And then the ending was just the judge saying that, his decision on whether to grant the preliminary injunction will affect his motion on Kiwi Farms, but that he'll let everybody know. So
yeah.
And I think your lawyer maybe got like the last word at the end there. And he kind of just kept like saying like they haven't met their burden for showing proof of any of this stuff that they're alleging, vis-a-vis malicious intent, vis-a-vis all this stuff. Yeah, your lawyer was pretty good. I was impressed.
Yeah,
and it was funny in the elevator afterwards. You asked like, was the Joanne person here? And your lawyer's like, no, I don't. That was just a clerk. I don't know. That's funny because she was the one writing all the arguments. So.
Oh yeah, I can't believe she didn't show up.
It was just. I'm assuming she just didn't want to buy a ticket or like, it's kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. And her office is here in Miami, so I don't know why she didn't show up to this.
Oh, then I don't know. That's actually going to be. Wow.
Yeah, it might be in the same building actually as my local counsel. Yeah. Yeah, I had to ask her like when I first showed up. Oh shit, you were in the elevator with us, yeah. I don't know. You probably weren't there in the beginning when I showed up. I had to ask. I was like, is it normal that the attorneys write so much about themselves in some of these motions, and they were like, no, this is just wild. Because because her attorney's like, oh, dude, that the last thing they filed, last night, she's like, and then defendant said that undersigned counsel was, quote, fucking idiot, end quote, and said that we were stupid, but our motion was approved, so it looks like he was wrong. And it's like, oh my God, why you have limited pages to file? Why are you writing this? Why are you writing this in your in your fucking motion for your client? Oh, and they were like, and he was making fun of Lauren Hayden for no reason, and he shouldn't have been saying mean things about her. That's a friend of the plaintiff. I'm like, why are you writing this?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Wait. I was half expecting Lauren to be there when I showed up.
Oh yeah, that would have been fucking wild. Holy shit.
I thought it was interesting, but also, I mean, kind of don't leak strategy or whatever. But a lot of the stuff that you're kind of talking about, with their sloppy motions or their weird arguments, their yapping, and a lot of the emotions. Wasn't really brought up by your lawyers. It was kind of all focused on specifically the preliminary injunction.
Yeah.
Which is good because you can just keep piling up stuff and proper behavior for later on. So
yeah, there's still 20 different things that that can be brought up. But again, yeah, you're right. This is just the PI hearing.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun stuff.
Anything else?
I don't know. Anything else? Yeah, overall, I think it went pretty well for you overall. I think it was the one thing is that I felt like at certain points the judge was maybe close to the end was almost judging between the two of you. It seemed like he was more favorable to your lawyer's arguments, but he was also favorable to plaintiff's kind of position, the uncomfortable position that plaintiff was in.
For sure. Although I like that he brought up over and over again. I think I like that Andrew brought up that why didn't you just sue Kiwi Farms? And the lawyer or the judge seemed to have a good understanding, because I think the judge was saying that at the end, there is no case law on this. The defense here didn't publish any of this publicly anywhere. There's nothing in the record stating that. He didn't make any of this publicly available. None of this was published on Kiwi Farms at all. None of this was published anywhere publicly whatsoever. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then I think our lawyer said at the end, they didn't include Kiwi Farms in this complaint. I would love if they had Kiwi Farms as a party in this case, but they're not. So I don't know what you want them to do. Yeah.
Yeah. How much money did you originally offer plaintiff after Schroeder's mediation? No specific dollar amount was ever discussed.
I'm looking through my notes to see if there's anything else, but I think that's pretty much it. Oh, the first thing I wrote down when I got there was it was interesting. You were I could hear small talk between you and Andrew, and then the other side was completely silent going into it. It was just a little.
Oh yeah, their side was rough. I liked when the guy, I don't know which attorney it was. I think not Carlos, but the other guy. Whenever he would get him to object, he was always really mad in his objections, which I thought was, really funny. He was getting so upset.
I didn't keep track of all the objections and all everything, but yeah, they were going hard on those objections.
Oh man. Oh shit. And he was like, what's the relevance? Oh my God. He got, Gustavo.
Oh, there was one. Oh yeah. There was one where he got so mad. He was like, what is the relevance to this? It doesn't have anything to do with it. Yeah.
Damn.
Jesus. Oh yeah. Overall, good showing. Hope judge rules in your favor.
Yep. Hopefully we'll see.
Yeah. And by the way, I will be showing up to all of these hearings.
Oh boy.
Just kidding.
Oh wait, Zip. Oh wait, so Zip can comment on this. Did the judge acknowledge the implicit consent argument? The funny thing is the judge was actually the first person to bring that up, which was really funny.
I was
Holy shit!
Laughing
as soon as he said that,
because it's so funny.
That might have been the thing that when I got too loud and Andrew told me to chill.
All the people, just sticklers, fucking laughing. Oh, implied consent, implied consent, and the judge was the first one to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well.
Anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. If you want me to just send you my notes, I'll type them up and send them.
No, that's okay. I probably
if they
should
do end
have.
up sealing stuff, but
I should have kept mine instead of tossing them, but I figured, yeah. But okay, yeah.
Okay.
All right. I love you. Have fun. Be careful.
Oh, bye. Bye, Chad.
This was the part in their oh, sorry. That I just thought was so funny. In the same video, defendant accuses plaintiff's witness Abby MC of lying and perjury. He refers to the undersigned counsel, that's in this case Joanne, that's them, the lawyers. He refers to the undersigned counsel as disgusting fucks and repeatedly accuses the undersigned counsel of grabbing random people to perjure themselves. Defendant accuses plaintiff's counsel of bad faith arguments, explicit lying, and abuse of the court system. He spends a full 30 minutes telling his followers that plaintiff's counsel has no understanding of the federal rules of civil procedure because they allegedly did not adhere to proper procedures by filing redacted declarations of the witnesses along with the motion to file under seal, the unredacted versions. Defendant, of course, is wrong, since the court granted plaintiff's motion to file under seal. Remember, our issue wasn't the filing under seal, it was that they weren't making the documents available to us. But this type of misinformation about the litigation on his platform is rampant, and based on the thousands of comments on the YouTube video, is accepted as gospel by his followers. Disturbingly, all of this extrajudicial commentary is approved by defendant's counsel. Oh, they keep leaning on this. The defendant has publicly doxed and attacked Lauren Hayden. I don't know what this means, publicly doxed, but a friend and potential witness of plaintiffs. Lauren is listed as an individual likely to have discoverable information on defendant's initial disclosures. The defendant has spread lies about Lauren and talked about he would like her to get disbarred because she has been supportive of plaintiff. See Google Drive. And then they're like, defendant publicly disclosed plaintiff Jane Doe's name on his YouTube platform. The name that we're trying to protect, by the way. And you can see it by clicking this video and then going to this timestamp and then reading the chat in bold and underlined fucking text. Why would you put this in a public filing? I'm sorry. Okay. But anyway, what a goofy. This is also goofy.